Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Monday, the 26th day of February, 2024. It is Monday of the second week of Lent. It is the 10th day, no, it is the ninth day of the Lenten season, and it is 2 days till my birthday. So this backdrop right behind me, this is the epic tower, which forms the backdrop to the patio here at the Friary of St. Francis of Assisi. This is the Friary over here, and then we have, and that's the dining room back there, and this wonderful little lovely patio over here. And as you can see, we have Midtown Manhattan, 30th Street. Actually, this is Garment District, not Midtown. Garment District, where St. Francis was founded. And we have over here a lovely little aviary with bird feeders and everything else like that, because it's so appropriate for Franciscans to have something like this. Let's see. So today, I'm here again doing the day of reflection for my brothers here at St. Francis. This was the provincial office when Holy Name Province existed. Now that it's Our Lady of Guadalupe Province, there are offices here for development and finance and things like that. But the main offices are in Atlanta, Georgia. So quite a change from New York City for a lot of Holy Name Province friars. But today, in today's readings for this ninth day of the Lenten season, the book of Daniel. So the book of Daniel, remember, there's always two episodes of trouble that Daniel gets himself into. The first is the fiery furnace, where he and the three youths, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, that they end up being thrown into the furnace because they will not worship an idol that King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon has erected. And so Daniel remains firm, and so do Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Remain firm in their faith, and basically they are redeemed by God, who sends an angel to be with them in the fiery furnace, and so they are saved. That happens earlier on in the book of the prophet Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar eventually runs his course. He falls out of grace, and King Darius succeeds him as king of Babylon. And Darius likes Daniel. He likes the way Daniel prophesizes. It's all very positive and good. But then people, don't like Daniel's influence. Why? Because, well, he's a Jew. It's like, and he's in Babylon, and they don't like any kind of influence happening. And so they conspire against Daniel, and they make Darius write another edict, because Darius was a little bit more liberal than Nebuchadnezzar was. Another edict that all people must bow down to idols, whether you are Babylonian or not. And again, it's going to get Daniel into trouble again, because Daniel insists that he should not do that, because again, the God of Israel says, don't do that. And so it's punishable by death if you don't. So Daniel doesn't, and then he's thrown into a lion's den. So that's the second. So Daniel in the furnace is first, Daniel in the lion's den is second. And God rescues again Daniel from this lion's den, does not allow the lions to do anything to harm him. The lions are kind of kitty cats around him, and he pets them and everything else like that. And Darius realizes, again, that Daniel is even much more than a prophet, and he really needs, to have Daniel rank higher in the kingdom of Babylon. And I think that he gets rid. I think he kills the counselors or whatever it is who wanted to undo Daniel's influence and his power. So again, it's the ancient world. It's Darius. But today, Daniel basically is getting his farsightedness. Again, he is a young man in many ways. But again, it does not mean that he's not filled with wisdom. And in his farsightedness, he recognizes both the good and the challenge. That having been Israelites is. And whereas Daniel has fared well, in exile, many other Israelites did not. And again, the source of all of that not faring well, unfortunately, has been Israel's unfaithfulness, to what it is that God has asked them to do. And again, it is not in order that God gives. Again, God gives commands, but God cannot force obedience to the commands. We must be the ones who decide that this is good for us. But when we don't, sadness, envelops. Sadness results. Sadness, is the consequence, that again undoes us. And so today there is, again, sort of this prayer that Darius gives about Israel's unfaithfulness and recognizing everything that Israel did. Now, again, it's good. Okay, it can be just an egocentric exercise in sorrow and self-pity and whatever it is. But as we'll see, what follows is that again, Daniel also awakens to the fact that though God is the one who clears all of this away, God is the one who makes everything better. At times in our sacrament of penance, we're just stuck. Basically, we're saying we're bad, and then leaves it like that. And that is no way for human beings to live. It does not allow for us to be any more obedient, any more conscious, any more caring of fulfilling God's word within our own lives. It is God who makes everything better. And even in the midst of our brokenness and our pain, there's a God, there who is always at the ready to heal, to pick us up, and to help us move on. And that's what Daniel is recognizing, especially not only in his case, but in the case then of a lot of the Israelites, especially what will happen, when Darius decides basically to send Israel back to the Holy Land, back to Palestine, back to where it was, that they had come from, to be able to reestablish themselves once again. In the Gospel today, oh dear God, what is the Gospel today? Yes. Okay, so on Saturday, we had the Matthew Sermon on the Mount, what comes after it, in which Jesus speaks of love, about loving enemies especially, loving everybody, because if you only love those who love you, you're doing just what everybody else does, and we are meant to be different as believers. That was Saturday's, command. On Monday, we go to Luke and the Sermon on the Plain, and we don't hear, it's the same kind of thing, but Luke expands upon it. In Luke's Gospel, Jesus talks about loving enemies, but here now is about forgiveness, it is about mercy, it is about giving, it is about being non-judgmental. Add love to that, and it's the 5 attitudes and behaviors that we as believers have got to exhibit in our own lives, to be above all people who never doubt the power of love, never doubt the power of forgiveness, never ever say that we've given enough and then to stop, to be understanding and caring about each other. That is what mercy is. And then to stop judging everyone and everything, because our judgments sometimes are inaccurate and incorrect and harmful. That is something again for us to reclaim in this Lenten season, how to live these 5 simple attitudes, these 5 simple behaviors, these 5 simple beliefs, so that we can become again the witnesses that our world needs to abide by, that our world needs to see, that our world needs for its own healing, grace, and peace. I continue blessed Lent, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.